Welcome to Glorious Botafogo, your number one source of Botafogo news in English. The Glorioso beat Nacional Potosí at home at the Newton Santos by 2-0, which brings the aggregate score to 2-1, and the club advances to the third stage, if you want to call it that, of the Libertadores, and one step closer to making it into one of those group stages. The first match of the game, the first half of the match, I did not watch, but I did catch the second half. Watching the second half was very worrisome. There was lots happening that, players missing 5-yard passes, counterattacks just going to waste, making the wrong decisions, just not good. Just not good. The first half, from what I saw, the best, the highlights, it looked like we played a good first half. It looked like we were doing fine. It looked like we were going to win the match by 5-0 or whatever, because Botafogo was dominating. But that second half, I don't know what's happening. Players like Alvaro Montoro just had a poor second half. Arthur Cabral came in the second half, and you could tell that he's just not at 100%. Tutuk as well, just not at 100%. Arthur, we're talking about winger Arthur. Honestly, I just don't know. I just don't believe in him anymore. I don't believe in Arthur anymore. It's just poor decision making after poor decision making. And at this level, we can't afford to making those. But now the club advances, and it's going to play Barcelona from Guayaquil in Ecuador. So Botafogo had to travel to Ecuador. Argentina's juniors lost, and this is kind of an upset. We were hoping, when I say we, Botafogo was hoping that the club would have to travel to Argentina, much closer, go to Buenos Aires, but now going to have to go to Ecuador, and just a long trip. It is tiring to be in an airplane for that long. It is tiresome to have to go through all of this. But the first match is over there. The deciding matches at the Newton Santos. I think it's next week already. So the club has a lot of work to do. Martino Sam is going to have to figure something out for the Brasileirão. I mean, imagine going 3 losses in a row at the start of the Brasileirão. That really puts you at a bad spot if you want to fight for the championship. I keep telling you guys this. I told you last year, if you want to be champions, you can only have about 6-7 losses out of the 40 matches you play. You get to 7 losses, or like 6 losses with a bunch of draws, you're just not going to be champions. You have to minimize the amount of losses you can have in the Brasileirão, in Brazil. I'm talking about other tournaments. I'm talking about Brazil. Honestly, if we lose 2 more games of the next 10, we're not gonna fight for the title. We're just not. So we will see. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'm not hoping for that. It's not something that I'm like, I hope we lose 2 more and we're out. Obviously not. But we just got to be aware. And to me, the magic number of losses is 6 or 7. Everything else just depends. I want to bring something to your attention, because it's not often that we see this. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen this. FUTFANATICS.net now has the goalkeeper jerseys for Botafogo, and they are 50% off. Let me say this again. FUTFANATICS is shipping goalkeeper jerseys internationally. So if you live in the United States, if you live in the United Kingdom, in Spain, in Saudi Arabia, wherever, in Japan, you can order yourself the home, the away jersey, and the third jersey. That's the one that's all green. And you can get it for 50% off. Let me repeat, 50% off on FUTFANATICS. And if you use the code Glorious10, they will know that I sent you, and you get an extra 10% off. So you can buy this goalkeeper jersey for 60% off. That is a deal, my friends. That is a deal. FUTFANATICS has a bunch of stuff, man. I buy a lot. You guys know I do videos on delivery days on FUTFANATICS. I love FUTFANATICS. They have the jersey with the Brasileirão patch, with the winning patch. Oh, look at that. They got a video now. I didn't even know they had a video. Look at that. Nice video there. Nice jersey. I got myself the white jersey because out of those, I like the white one better. This one right here, I got 06. The number's going to go right here. I got 06 Nilton Santos. So yeah, I can't wait to see this jersey. This jersey actually has the VBet sponsorship. It's not often. I just noticed that it's not often that we have the sponsor, to be quite honest with you. So interesting, very interesting. Yeah, even the goalkeeper jersey's got VBet. I didn't even notice that. In the past, FUTFANATICS, they don't sell. Look, they don't sell with the sponsor. But anyways, so I wanted to bring that to your attention because it's like I've been doing this. And what I mean by this, I've been buying Botafogo jerseys overseas for a long time. And I have never seen goalkeeper jerseys go on sale. Never, ever. Maybe in the Brazilian website, but never in the international website. And guess who asked them to put on the international website? Your boy right here. I saw these on the Brazilian website and I said, please go ahead and move those from the Brazilian website to the international so we could have it. And bam, there it is. I got myself 2 of those, got my son 1 of those, and I got myself the white jersey. So I'm about to be a pretty happy camper when these arrive because I love goalkeeper jerseys. I love them. Love wearing them. Now, let's talk about Botafogo some more. Our next match will be Saturday, February 28th, the last day of February, at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Botafogo and Boa Vista for the Carioca. Botafogo is going to have to probably send out the U20 squad again with some players that did not play today. And then on Tuesday, March 3rd, and then Tuesday, March 10th, Botafogo will play Barcelona from Guayaquil. And interestingly enough, Wednesday, March 11th, we're supposed to have a game against Atlético Paranaense. I'm willing to bet that's going to get rescheduled as well. And our next Brasileirão game will be against Flamengo 4 days later, March 14th. And that's a Saturday at 6:30 p.m. It's a lot of games. I said it on the last video. Botafogo is about to play 2 matches a week until the end of this month. And then the Carioca will be over, but then we're going to have the Libertadores, but it's going to be a little bit of a break. The windows are closing in, and it's time this is where having a good and a squad with a lot of depth helps. And speaking of having a squad with a lot of depth, Botafogo is really close to signing a goalkeeper. Last name Magalhães. I forgot what his first name is, but he currently plays in Serbia for that team, Red Star, and he's a great goalkeeper. He really is. I've seen videos of him, and I remember him with Ajax. Good goalkeeper. Now, there's a couple of more names coming. There's center back Dantas, which I spoke about it before. Botafogo's close to signing him, and we're still close to signing the kid from Sport, the center defensive mid. So Botafogo 2, Nacional Potosí 0, 2-1 aggregate. Botafogo moves through, but that was a very worrisome second half. And things have to change if we want to really compete in that group stage of the Libertadores and the Brasileirão and the Copa do Brasil.